So you want to kill the Monkey King, huh? The guy who achieved immortality 7 different times. Yeah, good luck with that. You know, the whole idea started when I was at a gym with my friend. We were doing our sets and he casually said, "I'm gonna become immortal. With all these exercise, no one will be able to slay me." Just a normal gym bro chat, right? But somehow our friendly banter escalated into a heated argument about whether or not Sun Wukong can be defeated. I threw out examples where Wukong was saved by his companion, and eventually we reached an arrangement. Sun Wukong is defeatable but unkillable. Naturally, my ego couldn't just leave it at that. I had no research on hand, so to settle the score, and of course totally not for my ego, I have to dive in and make this video to prove my friend wrong, of course. Just kidding. Actually, I'm here to grow the channel and make some money. No, wait, you didn't actually believe that, did you? Anyway, even if you managed to slay him, say if he got crushed by Erlang's axe, Wukong could just resurrect himself from a single hair. So technically, you have to destroy every single hair on his body. Sounds exhausting, right? But don't worry, in this video, I'll show you how you can actually defeat Fighting Buddha himself. Of course, another name for Sun Wukong. Let's not forget he broke the wheel of rebirth. Literally everyone tried to slay him. Stronger beings like the Yaksha King, the Jade Emperor and thousands of deities, and they all failed. And if you have seen the opening of the game, Erlang Shen didn't actually beat him either. He was toying with Erlang before that golden fillet immobilized him. Even at the end when we defeated Wukong, it was just his broken shell, so he could resurrect himself, just a part of his master plan. So in this video, we'll dive into Journey to the West and uncover the real method to actually defeat him. Oh, and a big shout out to Jim R. McClanahan. His deep dive into the Journey to the West really helped me with this research, so he definitely deserves the credit here. Let's go.
Monkey.
Before we dive into how to slay the victorious Fighting Buddha, we first need to gain some knowledge about his feats, his powers, and of course, the known methods to bring him down. After that, we'll explore some hidden strategies that might just work. Let's start with the most interesting topic, the known methods to defeat him. Method number 1, Buddha himself. This is the most obvious one, and I'm sure most of you already know it. Buddha is the only one who has been able to pin him down and essentially destroy his existence. After all, Buddha is the reason Sun Wukong is even where he is today. He imprisoned him under a mountain for 500 years. Method number 2, nothing. Yep, you heard that right. There's no other known method to defeat him, just Buddha. Everyone else tried and failed miserably. Now, Sun Wukong is famous for his multiple layers of immortality, but despite that, he is still somewhat bound to the concept of death and the wheel of rebirth. During the events of Journey to the West, he hasn't yet achieved Buddha nature. Slaying him in one-on-one fight? Nearly impossible, given his insane durability and power. But there are few other ways that might work. They're not guaranteed, but these methods could potentially bring him down. But before we get into those, let's first ask the important question. Why is Sun Wukong so hard to slay? To answer that, we need to understand who Sun Wukong actually is. Yep, you need to hear the boring stuff before we get into the conclusion. Sun Wukong was born from a magical stone on the mountain of flowers and fruits. This stone absorbed the essence of the heavens and earth for millennia, eventually cracking open to reveal a full-formed monkey. This region already marked him as extraordinary, as he was eventually a product of nature's magic. After demonstrating his courage and cleverness among other monkeys, Wukong earned the title of the Monkey King. He ruled over his fellow monkeys in their kingdom, but he was always ambitious and sought greater power. Fearful of death, Wukong left his kingdom to seek immortality. He traveled the world and eventually found a Taoist master named Subhuti, who taught him various magical abilities, including 72 transformations, the power to shapeshift into 72 different forms from animals to objects, cloud somersault, the ability to travel 54,000 kilometers in a single leap, immortality. He was taught methods to become effective effectively immortal. After gaining incredible power, Wukong returned to his kingdom but soon became arrogant. He began causing chaos in the heavens and earth, even naming himself the great sage equal to heaven. He fought against the armies of heaven and even survived being trapped in the 8 trigrams furnace of Laozi, only to emerge stronger. Wukong's weapon, the Rui Jingu Bang, a magical staff that can change size and weight at his will, was taken from the Dragon King's underwater palace. It was originally a pillar used to measure the depth of the ocean. This staff became his signature weapon and further increased his powers. Wukong outsmarted the rulers of Underworld by erasing his names from the Book of Life and Death, ensuring he could not die from natural causes. And then he was imprisoned by Buddha for 500 years, and just after that, the novel begins Journey to the West. Here he learned humility and self-control. He performed many heroic deeds. Wukong fought various demons and supernatural beings using his cunning and strength to protect Tang Shanzang and the group. His feats in the battle and clever solutions to problems became legendary. After numerous challenges, Wukong and the other disciples completed their mission and returned to China with the scripture. As a reward, Sun Wukong was granted the title of Victorious Fighting Buddha by the Buddha himself, symbolizing his transformation from a rebellious trickster into a wise and powerful figure. But how is all this actually relevant to this video? To understand how to defeat him, first we must know where he came from and how actually powerful he is. To eat your prey, you must first know how big he or she is. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do defines me. With great powers comes great responsibility. Okay, I'll just shut up. Well, now we know his origins, but why is he so hard to slay? And what makes him so strong? First off, Sun Wukong has 7 different layers of immortality. Let's start with the basics. He scratched his name off the Book of the Life and Death. This means he can't die of old age. His natural death has been completely prevented. Then, to double down on immortality, he drank the elixir of immortality. This elixir, crafted by Laozi, the Taoist sage and god, is another way the immortals in heaven achieve eternal life. So, with that, Wukong added another level of "you can't slay me" to already his impressive resume. In heaven, there is a sacred peach garden where peaches grow that grant immortality to those who consume them. Sun Wukong ate many of these peaches, granting him an additional layer of immortality and further bolstering his resistance to aging and death. Sun Wukong learned the 72 earthly transformations and the art of immortality from his Taoist master, Patriarch Subhuti. These teachings gave him an enhanced lifespan and resistance to normal forms of death, making him extremely difficult to slay by any conventional means. After consuming the heavenly banquets, food and wine, which was meant for the gods and immortals of heaven, Sun Wukong gained additional vitality and life force. After his rampage in heaven, Sun Wukong was captured and placed into Laozi's 8 trigrams of furnace in an attempt to melt him down. Instead of being destroyed, he survived the furnace intense heat for 49 days, coming out not only alive but with diamond hard indestructible skin. Though not a direct form of immortality granted by an object or magic, Sun Wukong's immortality was further acknowledged by Buddha, who recognized that Sun Wukong could not be defeated by conventional means. Instead of attempting to slay him, Buddha imprisoned him under the 5 Elements mountain for 500 years, knowing he couldn't be destroyed. Even Buddha has not yet tried to slay him. Crazy. These were his 7 layers of immortality, which makes him even hard to slay. And I haven't talked about his reincarnation abilities, his magical abilities, his staff, his strength, his martial arts skills, his clones and his wisdom. It's not just his immortality that makes Sun Wukong so hard to slay. It's also his insane combat and survival skills. This guy is practically undefeatable from the get-go. I mean, let's imagine if Erling Shen's axe had actually hit him in the opening scene of the game. Sure, Sun Wukong would have taken some serious damage, but no biggie. He'd just pluck out a hair and boom, recreate himself from a scratch. He's got plenty of tricks up his sleeves when it comes to reincarnation, seriously. The full game Black Myth Wukong is all about reincarnating himself to free himself from, guess what? The golden fillet. Now, don't worry. Even with all that trickery, I've got some sneaky ways to put this Monkey King to sleep. So, shall we dive into how to actually defeat this guy? Let's go. In chapter 41, Sun Wukong actually briefly dies from thermal shock after being overwhelmed by Red Boy's true Samadhi fire. The novel stories. His whole body covered by flame and smoke. The great sage found the intense heat unbearable, and he dove straight into a mountain stream to put out the fire. Little did he anticipated that the shock of the cold water was so great, the heat forced itself inward into his body, and his 3 hunt spirits left his vessel. Yeah, even the great Sun Wukong wasn't ready for that combination. Luckily, Zhu Bazi was there to save him. Talk about having a pig-headed wingman. But this was just an accident. In 1v1 battle, slaying him seems impossible. But it's actually possible. Let me explain. Tricking the trickster means trapping him. In the lore, there are countless deadly traps designed to take down even the toughest foes. And let's be real, traps are pretty much the only way to immobilize Sun Wukong or put him to sleep for good. But here's the catch. You gotta outsmart him. Outsmarting Sun Wukong is like trying to scam a scam artist. Definitely not impossible, but you'll need to be next level trickster to pull it off. For example, Earthly Fury. This trap uses a magic red pennant to rain down rolls of thunder from above and fire from below, obliterating intruders. Oh, and it's set to cut them off from reincarnation, so no coming back for round 2. Roaring Typhoon. This one's wild. It combines wind, true Samadhi fire, and swirling blades made of primordial energies to slice intruders into a fragment powder. It's like being turned into the world's deadliest room freshener. Vehement Flame. As if fire from the sky isn't bad enough, this trap also throws in fire from stone and true Samadhi flames, reducing intruders to nothing but ash, like being barbecued by universe itself. Soul Snatching. This trap, ruthless. It harnesses the fierce energies of heaven and earth, using a white paper pennant with a talisman seal to snatch away the intruder's bow and hunt spirits. It doesn't just slay your body, it traps and destroys your very soul. No respawn, no afterlife, just poof, gone. And of course, there are plenty of more traps where those came from, like red sand, bleeding blood, golden light, etc. But Wukong will surely survive the most, but the 3 traps I mentioned above might actually defeat him. Overcoming Monkey's immense power, durability and speed would require an indirect approach, something he wouldn't even see coming. A secret spiritual attack from afar, yeah, that might work, in my opinion of course. But trapping Sun Wukong, that's a whole other challenge. Still, there is one more way to defeat him and slay him. Deadly rituals. In the I don't know how to spell that. Well, it's a comic book. We see Jiang Ziya, famous for her supernatural feats and rituals, performing a ritual that pulls the soul out of his body and drags it into the underworld. If he could trap Sun Wukong in such a way, he might actually stand a chance. But to pull off something this extreme, Jiang Ziya wouldn't be able to do it alone. He'd need some serious backup, like celestial help. Summoning divine or godly powers is probably the only way to seal the deal with that kind of support. Sun Wukong might actually finally meet his match. The immortal slaying flying knife. This mysterious weapon, a treasure of Lu Ya's, could be a solid second contender here. It's no ordinary blade. It's got a head, eyes and wings, and it's stored inside a grout. When released, its eyes shoot out white light that nails down the enemy's true form. Then with a simple recitation of "turn around please precious," it spins and instantly decapitates the target. Of course, there's the slight issue of actually getting it out and saying the magic words before you get reduced to a meaty patty. But if your target is already immobilized, like Yung Hong, the immortal slaying flying knife becomes the ultimate final nail in the coffin. At the end, Sun Wukong might seem unbeatable with his layers of immortality, insane combat skills and tricky reincarnation methods, but with the right approach, traps, divine help or even an ancient flying knife, there are ways to take him down. It's not good to be easy though. Outsmarting the Monkey King is like playing chess against a grandmaster who's already got cheat codes. But hey, who doesn't love a challenge, right? Whether you are strategizing with celestial forces or looking for loopholes in ancient lore, taking down the great sage is the ultimate test of your cunning. Thanks for sticking around for this this deep dive into how to slay the undefeatable Monkey King. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more myth-busting content. And remember, next time you face a seemingly undefeatable foe, just maybe keep a flying knife in your back pocket. Just saying.